When people think of Alberta, they probably picture the Canadian Rockies, but there's more in the province than that, a side that's rarely mentioned. Some of it good, while other parts might be construed as not so good and perhaps even ugly. In addition to mountains, there's farms, prairie, exploited lands, and even a haunted lake. Come along and let's explore the other side of Alberta.
The beauty of the landscape continues after Jasper. We're heading toward Hinton. It's about 10:05 and the sun just completely set, I think, but it's still pretty daylight out here and you can see clearly. Not quite in the land of the midnight sun, but we're getting close. It won't get dark here until about 11. Sadly, this forest is pretty charred. Looks like a forest fire ran through here maybe a year or two ago. The last thing I do in the evening is try and swat whatever mosquitoes have gotten inside the car with me so I can get to sleep and not have them buzzing around my ears and all that. I got that one last night, but not before it got me. There's another one I smashed. Let's check out the first site of the day, the Moberly Homestead. There were 6 Indian families here, as you can see right there, and they were known as the Mountain People, or try saying that word right there. I've got to make this quick. The mosquitoes here are fierce and abundant. There's the Moberly Homestead from the early 1900s. Another cabin out here, back here. You can have a read of that. This is the grave of Suzanne Moberly. And if you want to find this homestead, go down the Snaring Road outside of Jasper. There's a picture of Ewan and his wife Madeline and their sons, Black Tap and Joe.
Back in the day, homesteaders probably didn't see this as a wondrous region of natural beauty, so much as a harsh landscape to overcome and eke out a living.
Life ahead, maybe. Pretty out there. This is Jasper Lake. Not far from Jasper. So shallow you could almost walk across it, I think. Look at those people out there. They're way out there. Everybody's enjoying the lake. Lakes all over the place here. Big scenery. Big lakes. Massive peaks out there. And that concludes our trip down the Icefields Parkway. We're in Yellowhead country. We're now on Alberta's Yellowhead Highway. Looks like we're leaving the Rockies behind and heading out into some more rolling type of country, rolling hills, forested. I guess we'll find out what's out here. Hey, you're in Canada now. Speak correctly. All right, I guess we'll find out what's out here. Coming into Hinton, it's actually a bigger town than I thought it would be. It's 10,000 people, so it's sizable. It's got everything here. Rainbow-colored picnic tables here in Hinton. Picked up a couple maps at the visitor center. Here's the towns we're heading toward now. Hinton was pretty much the epitome of a strip town. It just had one long strip of stuff and every chain store imaginable on either side, both Canadian and American type things like McDonald's, Wendy's, and Walmart and all that kind of thing. And Canadian Tire, whatever else. Gaining a little bit of elevation here. I don't know what we're going to find. I've never been to this part of Alberta before. Going into the Schweitzer Provincial Park here. Getting deep into the Northwoods now. Yep, saw one of these. This is what the Schweitzer Provincial Park has in store for you if you come out this way. Pretty nice lakes. The lake I just showed you is Jarvis Lake. Looks like we're really getting out in the wilderness now, eh? Out in the woodsy wilderness. Here's some food for thought. Check out these timelines. You can grow probably 10 times as much pulp matter in a field full of hemp on less acreage. This next harvest is 100 years And you could grow just so much more in so much less land if farmers were just growing hemp. There's a good likelihood that prior to 1972, this may well have been an old-growth forest, so we could have preserved that forest. Hemp can do more than wood. Not only can it be used for building materials and paper, but it can also be used as food and clothing and many other things. Of course, a lot of people don't want you to hear that. So you could grow more pulp matter on less land in a fraction of the time. Seems like a win-win-win situation if people would convert over to hemp instead of timber. And farmers could make more money. Instead of growing marginal crops like alfalfa, hay, and corn, getting about $2,000 an acre, they could get $10,000 to $15,000 an acre with hemp. We could preserve old-growth forests and the wildlife that lives in them. We're entering the Caribou Corridor. Wild game on road next 32 Ks. We'll keep an eye out for the wild game. Maybe we'll find something.
The Canadian woodland caribou is a threatened species. This is due to disturbance of habitat due to large-scale industrial logging, road and pipeline construction, loss of habitat, and hunting. They are the only species of deer where both males and females grow antlers. Their preferred food is lichens.
That might be the only caribou we see. Quit teasing me with all these signs and let's see some caribou. This is Highway 40, the Caribou Highway here on the section. Dark skies ahead, spitting a little bit of rain. Looks like we're about to get drenched. It's really coming down. And just like that, we're out of it. We're entering Grand Cache. Might as well get a little extra gas while I'm here. I pretty much filled up back in Hinton. It's a little bit cheaper there. Just met some cool people, and they're taking me on a little adventure through the muck and mud and puddles here. They're leading the way in their little quad runner there. Puddles are pretty big here. They told me there's going to be a killer viewpoint out here. And they said they'd lead the way. I just traded them they asked if I had a lighter. So I did have a lighter, and they traded me a beer and some pepperoni sticks for that. Good trade, eh? Okay, this is Lyndon. Say hi, Lyndon.
Hey, how's it going?
And he's leading me to this killer view, apparently, so let's check this thing out. Because I never would have known to come here.
Grand Cache, Alberta.
Wow. Whoa.
Look at this, eh?
Wow, look at this. This is it. That's a canyon. Going down, look this, come up this way. Look at that river down there. Whoa, dude. Hey, thanks,
Hey,
man.
no problem, man.
Appreciate that. Awesome view. Cheers.
Cheers. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, yeah, I
Welcome to
appreciate
Canada.
it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great to be here.
Yeah, right on, man.
Beer and pepperoni sticks. Hey, these guys just came back to get me from down there where I was parked. So we're gonna go have a campfire and some beer and who knows whatever.
We're gonna eat some A&W, get some grub in you.
There you go.
Right on.
All right. These guys brought A&W burgers for all of us. Awesome.
Eat up, man.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Lyndon's brought us to a really beautiful lake, and we're gonna have a nice big campfire tonight. We got a beautiful fire going on here by the lake, enjoying our beers. We're having a good time, eh?
Great time.
Great time. Here in Canada, Alberta, Grand Cache, beautiful.
And I guess they ended up not liking the guy. It was like over drugs and shit. So they brought this guy out there, murdered him there, and they found his body on the shore a few weeks later.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you think, what does this have to do with the island there?
Because they brought him to that, because that island there has a picnic table, fire pit. When people go on canoes, that's where they like, or kayaks, that's where they go. Like have a little fire and stuff like that.
That's where we camp out.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty spooky story.
That is.
Yeah. So that's why sometimes, like, when you come ice fishing here, you'll hear, like, voices and shit. It's weird. I've never experienced it, but my brother and sister-in-law experienced it, where it's like they hear screaming and stuff, or someone telling them, like, hey, hey. Then they, like, walk up to the shoreline and see if anyone's there, and no one's there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
That would be spooky.
So once you start hearing a woman scream,
That's when you
Get
get
outta
off
here.
the lake.
Get
Yeah.
out of here.
yeah.
Wow, okay, so
And it's weird because it's like our town's drinking water too. This is our supply. People get murdered
There's a
here.
little levity to the situation, I guess. But
Yeah.
I mean, so this lake has a lot of history then.
And this guy that died here, he was the town's water technician for this water. So he would always do pH tests, everything on this to keep it like up to par for to be sent up to town for everyone's drinking, right?
right?
Yeah. And then he died.
Well,
He
All the
drowned. He
water that
drowned.
he's-
He
that
drowned
he
in the
was-
lake,
Yeah.
and his spirit is still here.
Yeah. That's why they built this memorial for him.
where's the memorial?
And so
There's
this
a
is
little
here.
plaque.
This
There's
is
a little plaque there.
Plaque.
Yeah.
like a haunted lake then.
Yeah.
It is, I guess. Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty wild.
It is. That's the first I heard of the story, so I'm glad I came out here.
Grand Cache Lake. This is the town of Grand Cache. Yukon or bust. That's what I say. Lyndon and Charlene highly recommended Sulphur Gates, so that's where we're gonna have a look and see what that's all about. It's just down the road from Grand Cache. Here we go. Here's the Sulphur Gates.
Sulphur Gates is where the clear water of the Sulphur River converges with the silty water of the Smoky River.
The weather can change fast here in Canada. We were in the 80s and now we're just in the 50s. Looks like a coal plant, energy plant down there. Coal-fired, I guess. Heading down the road to Grand Prairie, about 184 kilometers from Grand Cache. Logging truck ahead. Gonna have to slow it down here for a sec. Logging and some kind of, looks like gas or oil or some sort of energy exploitation going on out there. It says Tourmaline Oil Corporation, so some kind of oil pipeline and whatnot going up. We're on Highway 40 and the scenery hasn't changed a whole lot. I was told that Alberta is the Texas of Canada, and I guess maybe that's true judging by all this stuff. Since I mentioned him earlier, another interesting point I could make about it is that Henry Ford made car bodies out of hemp plastic and ran the automobiles off hemp oil. And that was way back in the early 1900s, so you might have to wonder, why aren't we doing that now?
The material was lighter than fiberglass and 10 times stronger than steel.
Wow, is all this stuff related to the oil and gas pipeline? I wonder. Yeah, that's taking up quite a bit of land there. Housing for the workers, perhaps? Not really sure.
Looks like it is tied in with the extraction industry.
Getting back to the hemp thing for just a minute, it would seem like growing hemp and extracting oil from it would be cheaper, easier, and a lot less damaging to the planet than going to all this sort of thing and constantly building pipelines, all that mobile home housing and whatever they're doing. Just the way it would seem. More gray skies and rain. Now I can only wonder how bleak this place must be in the winter. Rain, rain, rain.
Looks almost like a muskeg swamp out there with those little trees.
Looks like we've got pulpwoods here. Instead of this little two-lane road, we're going to go by some sort of super highway here. This is Grand Prairie. It's like the big city of the north here in Alberta. This place is growing like a weed in a lawn, in a moist lawn. Lots and lots of traffic and growth here. Yeah, busy place. Real busy. I hit the Walmart here in Grand Prairie. I don't usually shop at Walmart, but was right along the way and got some cheese fromage, as you can see there, in French. Everything's in French as well as English in Canada. And be taking a different highway now, I believe, heading toward Alaska, going through the northeast corner of British Columbia, I believe, up to the Yukon. Heading into the city center, Grand Prairie, for just a minute. Have a quick look. City center, there you go. Time to gas up and head on out. Stop the fast gas here. $1.35 a liter, that's about as good as you're gonna get. Alright, got food, got gas. Time to hit the road. There we go. Alaska. Alaska and the Yukon. Welcome to the prairie. And ain't it grand? Bye, Grand Prairie. Having a quick look at Wembley. Saw something about a dinosaur park. Yeah, a little prairie town. Maybe just check it out. Well, I think that'll do it for Wembley. Here's the Dinosaur Museum at Wembley, but it's closed. We're on the 43 West now. Not all camp spots were beautiful, like when I parked outside of Grand Prairie in front of this tower on a cold, wet, windy night. Look at that old cabin outside of Grand Prairie to the west. These industrial energy sites are everywhere around this area. Burning off lots of methane up there. Here in Beaver Lodge, Alberta, you can see the giant beaver. Need your seeds cleaned. It's not the typical prairie in the traditional sense. There are plenty of trees where they're allowed to grow. It's more that it's just a flat kind of land here. Coming into the little town of Hythe. Does it match the height? Can it reach the heights? $1.35 a liter. Better get some more gas. Canada, where convenience store restrooms are as clean and tidy as the ones in your own home. And as nice, with real ceramic tile. Where are you heading? We're going to Alberta, damn it. You don't have to be mean about it. I wasn't. Heading to the community center, damn it. Heading off to the hall, damn it. I hope you enjoyed traveling through Alberta with me. Give me a like on the video, share, and subscribe. Now it's time to head in to BC again. Until next time, this is Rockhopper. I'll see ya.